Did you know? Masahiro Sakurai, often known for his work on the Kirby and Smash Bros. Series, has been a huge part of the video game industry for quite some time. So, with the release of the latest Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, let's take a look back on the history of his life, as well as some of his life's work. Sakurai was born on September 13, 1985. This also happened to be the same day the original Super Mario Bros. Game would release. Sakurai's parents saw this as a sign and believed it would be his destiny to be one of the greatest video game designers that the world would ever see. Over the course of his childhood, Sakurai was raised surrounded by video game fanatics and media sources almost 24/7 due to his parents' dedication to making him love the idea of making video games. Sakurai always claimed that this was one of the darkest times in his life, however.
私を、目を、迷うさ、マリオ、目を、ゲームインフォーマー、
After graduating from video game high school in June of 1997, Sakurai was finally free from his parents' control and began planning his future life as an employee at SeaWorld, California. He quickly realized that in order to make such a lengthy trip, he would need to make enough money to comfortably travel and live in the United States. So, in order to make such a large quantity of money, he would have to work in the one field that he was completely familiar with: video games. Sakurai came to his father for help, who he knew would be very adamant in helping his son fulfill his destiny. Sakurai was quickly dropped off in front of Nintendo headquarters, where he waited outside in the pouring rain for 12 hours before Satoru Iwata himself opened the door to shoo him off. Before the bodyguards could pick up Sakurai, he showed Iwata the now soaking wet photo of his concept for a new video game. The original photo depicted Sakurai holding a Wii remote with both of his hands, but due to rain, it was completely covered up by the black ink drawing down on the page. It would go on to create one of Sakurai's most famous creations, Mr. Game & Watch. Unfortunately, Sakurai would abandon the Game & Watch franchise in 1999, with the critical failure of Climber, causing him to lose almost all of his money. Iwata was unhappy with the idea of Sakurai abandoning video games despite the potential he clearly possessed. He quickly confronted Sakurai with the idea of making a sequel to Donkey Kong, in which Mario was seen punching Donkey Kong into oblivion. Due to his strong connection to Mario, Sakurai was convinced, and the game would go on to change and develop into Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64 on December 25th, 2002. Nintendo was extremely reluctant to release this game, as Sakurai's track record with the Game & Watch series nearly left the company in a financial crisis. This earned the original Smash Bros. Game the unofficial title Christmas Miracle among workers. The success of the Smash Bros. Game pleased Sakurai and Iwata greatly, but Sakurai still needed a little more money to fulfill his dream. The two decided to reskin the game and re-release it under the name of Super Smash Bros. Melee, and advertised it as a supposed sequel to the original. The game would go on to be a critical success, earning over $2 million. Iwata began to throw parties over the game's successful performance, which quickly developed into the tradition known as SmashCon. Sakurai, however, fell into a deep depression after the game's launch. He'd studied video games his entire life, but never knew how oblivious the gaming community was to Nintendo's cheap tactics. When Sakurai confronted Iwata about this, Iwata was deeply concerned with the amount of money he could lose due to the loss of Sakurai's help, and so he hatched a plan to keep him on the team just a little bit longer. A month later, Iwata confronted the now deeply depressed Sakurai with the idea of one last Smash Bros. Game to end them all. If a reskin of the successful N64 game was enough to earn them millions of dollars, a legitimate grand finale would certainly go down in the history books, according to him.
Melonky of White the Pig, go home. You suck my America, f***ing bitch. as you.
Production on the new game began immediately, with the motive to make the biggest video game ever created, to bring new fans into the series. Production on the new game began immediately, with the motive to make this the biggest video game ever created. To bring new fans into the series, they even went as far as to bring in the third-party characters Sonic the Hedgehog and Solid Snake. Millions was spent on advertising, and the duo even traveled out to SmashCon in Dulles, Washington. Sadly, Sakurai would not live to see the completion of this game. Being left in the United States left Sakurai with the incredible temptation of traveling to SeaWorld, California. Sakurai went on a 30-hour road trip only to meet locked doors. Accompanied by the giant padlock, only a printed picture of Sakurai's head crossed out over text exclaiming "No entry" was available to him. Devastated by this, Sakurai's mental state quickly deteriorated, and in a fit of rage, he broke in that same night. This was a decision that costed Sakurai his life, as he did not have a flashlight and thus fell into the killer whale pool, where he was quickly devoured. Smash Bros. Fans around the world were devastated and, in his honor, celebrated SmashCon 2006 at Sakurai's parents' house, as a way to honor him and his memory. Iwata was disappointed in Sakurai and decided that he would have to finish the game himself. With the incredible decrease of budget due to lawsuits from SeaWorld and the loss of Sakurai's millions, many cuts were made to the game. To keep Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog in the game, some rebranding had to be done as well. The game finally released in 2008 under the name Sonic Adventure and was met with critical success, going beyond Iwata's initial expectations. With the amount of money the new Smash game made back, Iwata decided it was only right to bring Sakurai's original vision for the game back to life with a director's cut re-release. This game would release under the name Sonic Adventure DX in July of 2015, and it made even more money than the original. Despite DX being advertised as the grand finale to the Smash Bros. Series, Nintendo urged Iwata to create another sequel that would earn them even more money. Iwata worked day and night getting this new game done, unsure of how to properly continue the series after the last game seemed to wrap a nice bow over the series' lore. Finally, the latest Smash Bros. Ultimate was released on December 7th, 2018. The game managed to transcend all expectations, and was quality enough to be deemed a worthy sequel to end all sequels. The game met several 10 out of 10s on the board, and made a grand total of $0. Yes, the game was sadly boycotted by all Smash Bros. Fans worldwide after Joker from Persona 5 stole a Smash invitation to get himself in. This effectively cut the highly requested Bowser character from entering the series, outraging fans all over. 2 days later, Iwata and Nintendo declared bankruptcy, and Iwata was left with nothing but a burning hatred for video games. Iwata hatched a plan for revenge on Nintendo, who so selfishly urged him to make this failure of a game. Iwata bought $200 worth of toilet paper that night and traveled to Reggie Fils-Aimé's mansion in New York, New York. Unfortunately, as we all know, this would be a dreadful mistake of Iwata's. Those of you familiar with the 2016 election know that Reggie was very adamant about his love for firearms. The sight of Iwata's TPing, the sight of Iwata TPing Reggie's house left him with no other option than to kill Iwata in cold blood on December 25th, 2018. And that is where the history of Smash Brothers and Sakurai stands today. Want to hear more facts about video games? Try hitting the subscribe button and the bell button as well, so you can get notifications if I end up making another video about video games. And yeah.